Do you know someone with diabetes? Today is World Diabetes Day, bringing awareness to that diagnosis. In Sioux City, the community came together for a marathon challenge, walking and raising money for diabetes education. KTIV's Taylor Decker took on that challenge and has more on its impact.
I'm walking to show support for type 1 diabetics and type 2 diabetics.
Christopher Jacobs is a nurse practitioner medical director with the Siouxland Community Health Center. He says he is walking in the marathon challenge for his daughter who has type 1 diabetes.
I think it's important to show support for all those who are courageous enough to battle the disease.
On Friday, 26 teams took to the concourse of the Tyson Event Center for the Siouxland Community Health Center's Marathon Challenge. Each team is challenged to complete 1 mile of course, totaling a marathon by the end of the day. Each step helps fund diabetes education offered by the Siouxland Community Health Foundation.
We've grown the program to have prenatal or gestational diabetes and also to type 1 diabetics as well. The class sizes have grown throughout the years, and it helps empower patients to manage their disease on their own and understand their medications and what diet changes they can make to improve and live healthier.
In Sioux City, Taylor Decker, KTIV News 4.
The Accredited Diabetes Education Center offers a variety of services using a team approach with its specialists. They help patients incorporate diabetes care into their daily lifestyle to improve overall health. To learn more about the program, check out this story at ktiv.com.